Vaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pricharine Nirviseshasha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We are reading from Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 8, Text 4. So this chapter is questions by Parikshit Maharaj, and he's putting relevant questions to Sukadev Goswami. Shranvata Shraddhaya Nityam Granantas Cha Swache Stitam Kalena Nati Dirghena Bhagavan Vishate Hridi. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Persons who hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and are always taking the matter very seriously will have the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna manifested in their hearts within a short time. So here Sukadev Goswami is telling Parikshit Maharaj how we can be with Krishna very quickly. And he's saying by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and then following what the Bhagavatam is saying to us. Cheap devotees or materialistic devotees of the Lord are very much desirous to see the Lord personally without meeting the requisite qualifications. Such third-grade devotees should know well that material attachment and seeing the Lord face to face cannot go together. It is not such a mechanical process that the professional Bhagavatam reciters can do the job on behalf of the third-grade materialistic pseudo-devotee. The professional men are useless in this connection because they are neither self-realized nor interested in the liberation of the audience. They are simply interested in maintaining the material establishment of family attachment and earning some material benefits out of the profession. Maharaj Parikshit had no more than 7 days to live. But for others, Maharaj Parikshit personally recommends that one hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, Nityam, always by one's own effort and with serious devotion also. That will help one to see the Lord Sri Krishna manifested in one's heart within no time. The pseudo devotee, however, is very anxious to see the Lord according to his whims, not making any serious effort to hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, and without detachment from material benefit. That is not the way recommended by an authority like Maharaj Parikshit, who heard and benefited by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So there are some professional people who hold Bhagavad Saptah. Is very common in India especially. They'll hold Bhagavad Saptah for 7 days. They will try to speak about the confidential pastimes of Krishna. And they and the hearers, they pretend that, oh, they are relishing so much that, they're enjoying bliss. But after the Bhagavad Saptah finishes, everybody goes back to their own ways, forgetting Krishna. So, but that's not the way to hear Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam should be heard from a devotee and should be heard regularly. And then when we do that in that manner, very soon we will be able to see Krishna where? Within our own heart. Nobody has to artificially show us, not that somebody will put some electric shock in us and then we will see Krishna face to face. No, we will see Krishna within our heart. He is already there in our heart. It's just right now we are refusing to see him. But by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, we get purified. And then Krishna reveals himself. Right now, he's in our heart as the Paramatma. But by hearing gradually, Krishna, Shyam Sundar Krishna will be manifest in our heart. Is this okay? So it's such a great benediction. We are always saying, oh, I want to see God, I want to see God. So the easiest way to see God, to be associated with God, is hearing Srimad Bhagavatam regularly from a pure devotee. And we can go on to the next verse. Pravishta karana randrena swanam bhava saroruham dhunoti shamalam krishnaha salilasya yatha sharat. The sound incarnation of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Soul, that is, Srimad Bhagavatam, enters into the heart of a self-realized devotee, sits on the lotus flower of his loving relationship, and thus cleanses the dust of material association, such as lust, anger, and hankering. Thus, it acts like autumnal rains upon pools of muddy water. It is said that a single pure devotee of the Lord can deliver all the fallen souls of the world. Thus, one who is actually in the confidence of a pure devotee like Narad or Sukadev Goswami, and thus is empowered by one's spiritual master, as Narad was by Brahmaji, can not only deliver himself from the clutches of Maya or illusion, but can deliver the whole world by his pure and empowered devotional strength. We are all here under illusion, thinking that we are separated from Krishna. So Krishna sends his pure devotees from time to time to awaken us to our true position, being his eternal paths. And then the devotees tell us that, by speaking the Bhagavatam, they reestablish our attachment with Krishna. So here Prabhupada is also saying that devotees who are especially empowered by their spiritual master, like we heard a few days ago, Brahmaji was telling Narad Muni, that I'll speak to you about what I heard from Krishna, and then you speak the same to everyone else for their benefit. So this is the empowerment of the spiritual master, where the spiritual master is telling Brahmaji is the spiritual master of Narad Muni, and he's telling him, deliver everybody. And that's how the devotees are. The devotees are so pure, it's because of their purity, then everyone else gets purified. The comparison to the autumnal rain that falls on muddy reservoirs of water is very appropriate. During the rainy season, all the waters of the rivers become muddy. But in the month of July, August, the autumn season, when there is a slight rainfall, the muddy waters of the rivers all over the world become at once clear. By addition of some chemical, a small reservoir of water, like that of a metropolitan waterworks tank, can be cleared. But by such a tiny effort, it is not possible to clear up all the reservoirs of water like the rivers. A powerful, pure devotee of the Lord, however, can deliver not only his personal self, but also many others in his association. So again, it comes to the point of association, how association is so important. When we associate with a pure devotee, then we get purified. So a pure devotee is not only benefiting himself, but he's benefiting everyone else. Everyone else. In other words, the cleansing of the polluted heart by other methods, like the culture of empiric knowledge or mystic gymnastics, can simply cleanse one's own heart. But devotional service to the Lord is so powerful that it can cleanse the hearts of the people in general by the devotional service of the pure, empowered devotee. Then, Prabhupada is explaining here that the Gyanis or the Yogis, the Gyanis who want to get into the impersonal Brahmajyoti, and the Yogis who want to realize the Paramatma realization, they also go through their process of cultivating knowledge or of cultivating the system of meditation to control their mind and senses. So then the Gyanis and Yogis, they are only benefiting their own self by their practice. But a pure devotee, by his practice of devotional service, by his practice of bhakti yoga, he is so empowered that he can purify everyone else's heart. A true representative of the Lord like Narad, Sukadev Goswami, Lord Chaitanya, the six Goswamis, and later Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, etc., can deliver all people by their empowered devotional service. So here are a few devotees that are mentioned: Narad Muni, Sukadev Goswami. Lord Chaitanya, of course, is Krishna himself. The six Goswamis of Vrindavan, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. You know, they did amazing pastimes by in purifying everyone else around them. And till now we can see the effects. You know, Bhaktivinoda Thakur in 1839, I think, he had sent a book on Lord Chaitanya to a university in Canada to be kept in the library. And when the ISKCON devotees went to Canada, they saw that book. The Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had written in 1800s. So a Vaishnav's words are eternal. It's not, it's only for a short time or space, place. No, they're eternal. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was like almost 200 years ago. And very recently, the devotees found the book in Canada. 1839. So at least more for more than 100 years, 150 years probably. By sincere efforts to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, one realizes his constitutional relationship with the Lord in the transcendental humor of servitude, friendship, paternal affection, or conjugal love. And by such self-realization, one becomes situated at once in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So how can we be situated in our relationship with the Lord? By sincerely trying to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. And then we have, each of us has a relationship with Krishna in 5 rasas, either as a servant, as a friend, as a parent, as a lover, or neutral ras. And then just by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and by being situated in our personal relationship, at once we are engaging in loving service to the Lord. It's not that somebody artificially has to tell us all this, oh, you are a peacock, or you are a flute, or you're a gopi. No. By hearing Bhagavatam, by chanting the holy name, everything is revealed to us in our heart, because that's our natural position. Right now, we are just covered. Our consciousness has become dirty. But when we hear Bhagavatam, when we chant the holy name, our consciousness becomes clean. And then our true self, we are able to see our true self. Not only were all the pure devotees like Narad self-realized souls, but they were engaged in preaching work automatically by spiritual impetus, and thus they delivered many poor souls entangled in the material modes. They became so powerful because they sincerely followed the Bhagavatam principles by regular hearing and worshipping. By such actions, the accumulated material lusts, etc., become cleansed by the personal endeavor of the Lord within the heart. The Lord is always within the heart of the living being, but he becomes manifested by one's devotional service. So we know that Narad Muni, just by his presence, how he delivered the Mrigari hunter. The hunter was so sinful that he would get pleasure in torturing the animals before killing them. And such a hunter who was so hard-hearted, just by seeing Narad Muni, he had a change of heart. And by following Narad Muni's advice, he became a very great Vaishnava, that everyone was coming to see him. You know, that is the power of a pure devotee. They make others devotees. A pure devotee will make so many others into pure devotees. Now, how do they become pure devotees? How? Well, because by sincerely following Bhagavatam principles, by regularly hearing the Bhagavatam, chanting the holy name, worshipping the deity. Then what happens by doing this? What happens is all our material lust, anger, pride, illusion, arrogance, all that, it gets cleaned up. Now, how does it get cleaned up? It's because Krishna is within each and everyone's heart. He's already in our heart. It's just that we don't want to recognize him because so many dirty things are right now there. So when we hear and chant about Krishna, when we hear and chant Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, chant the holy name, Krishna, who is within our heart, he personally he cleans. He takes a big knife. When we are hearing, as we are hearing, Krishna is in our heart. The more we hear, he cleans our heart of these dirty material, anger, lust, hankerings, which are holding us here. And then by engaging in devotional service, hearing and chanting, then we can see Krishna manifest in our heart, because the dirt will go away, then we will see Krishna there. Purification of the heart by culture of knowledge or mystic yoga may be all right for the time being for an individual person, but it is like the cleansing of a small quantity of stagnant water by chemical processes. Such clarification of water may stand for the time being and the sediments settle down, but by a slight agitation, everything becomes muddy. So here what is compared is that there is a small pond or a small lake, and that becomes muddy. So we can try to purify it by putting some chemicals. Then what happens when we put the chemical? It's not that the the mud will evaporate. No, what happens, it just settles down. It settles down, so the clear water is up. But once again, if you move the water, if there's slight moving of the water, again the whole water will become muddy, because again the mud will come to the surface. So following the processes of jnana and dhyana, Gyan and Dhyan, both of them, they are like this, that for some time, by controlling the mind and senses and cultivating knowledge, for some time, that person might feel that they have reached a certain level of calm and peace, a certain level of understanding, partial understanding the truth. Because by Gyan, we are understanding the Krishna's form as the Brahma Jyoti, and by Dhyan, we are understanding Krishna's form as the Paramatma. But these are not permanent in themselves, because we know, for example, Vishwamitra Muni, he sat in meditations for thousands and thousands of years. But he just slightly, he heard the ankle bells of Menka and he got agitated. So these are not permanent solutions. Meditation and trying to cultivate knowledge separately, these are not permanent solutions, they're temporary. So whereas the other methods, the idea is that devotional service to the Lord is the only method of cleansing the heart for good. If we really want to get rid of all our material attachments, our material hankerings, our material desires, the only method is bhakti, devotional service. No amount of meditation or cultivating knowledge is going to take that away. Whereas other methods may be superficially good for the time being, there's a risk of becoming muddy again due to the agitation of the mind. Devotional service to the Lord with specific attention for hearing Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and always is the best recommended method for liberation from the clutches of illusion. So it is a very simple and very pleasing way. Hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is very pleasing. Our heart feels so blissful by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And why? Because the dirty things from the heart are being cleaned. And just by hearing regularly Bhagavatam, always, then what happens is we will be liberated. We will be liberated from this material world, liberated from the body concept of life. We can see Krishna in our heart by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, following the process of what Bhagavatam is saying. Is this okay?
Yes. Yes, but it's not very easy.
Not very
Because
easy.
you have to be detached, and that you have to be really, really devoted. And right?
Yeah, but that's why Krishna is saying, the devotees are saying, you just hear.
Because see how we get, like many times diverted while we are chanting also. It's not like, totally, we are so
That's true, of course. We
right.
are chanting, saying,
Yeah.
things.
Many thoughts come that time, right?
It's true.
But trying.
Yeah. Krishna says no to Arjuna. Arjuna says to Krishna in the Bhagavad,
Yeah,
to control
yeah,
the mind is very difficult. But
yeah. So gentle.
yeah. And then Krishna says, but it is possible. He says, by suitable practice and detachment, it is possible. So we just have to continue. We have to continue to hear and chant. And then the more we do it, automatically the mind or the so many other desires which come, they will keep getting reduced gradually, because Krishna is there in our heart. So, I was just hearing something by Prabhupada and it really struck me. It's so powerful that, okay, we are chanting Hare Krishna, our mind is going here, there, everywhere. But just once we are hearing Krishna, immediately we are being with Krishna. Again, the mind goes away here and there. But that one time where we heard Krishna, we are with Krishna, because Krishna and his name are the same. When we
Same.
say Krishna, we are. So just like that. So maybe out of 16 rounds we do, maybe one time we heard Krishna. Then gradually, 2 times, 3 times. It will keep increasing. Gradually, it will happen.
Mhm.
It
That's true.
will. And by hearing Bhagavatam gradually, regularly, it will happen, you know. So chanting Hare Krishna, hearing Bhagavatam regularly, both of them, it's a great impetus, you know, really very powerful, very powerful.
And I think that, as Nehaji said, that Vairagya and Bhakti will follow. Like, we don't have to go after it or think about it. If we are doing a devotional service in a proper way, then they both are the result of that. They both come, the Bhakti and Vairagya, like detachment and Bhakti. So if we are hearing and chanting, is it that right?
Yeah. So by doing bhakti, automatically knowledge and vairagya will come.
Yeah, sorry, knowledge and Vairagya. Okay.
Yeah. By hearing and chanting, or we hear and chant, because Krishna is within the heart. It's only we have covered him up with a lot of dirt. We have put so much mud inside there, so much dirt inside there, we are not able to see him. The more we hear and chant, the more he cleans the dirt that we have. We see a very muddy table, which we have not cleaned for a long, long time, or muddy floor, you know, where long time we haven't cleaned. How thick the dirt will get that you can't see the floor only. But then slowly, as we keep cleaning, we'll be able to see more and more. Or the example is given of the mirror. There's so much dirt on the mirror that we can't see our own reflection. But when we start cleaning the mirror, the more we clean it, slowly, our reflection, we can see more and more. So by bhakti, by hearing and chanting, bhakti begins by hearing and chanting. By hearing and chanting, our heart is being cleaned. Krishna is cleaning our heart inside. So our desires will go away. Our attachment to the material things will go away. And to that same degree, we will get attached to Krishna. It will happen. That's a guarantee of bhakti, doing the process of bhakti. That we will do for one level, we will get the result of one level, permanent result. It is a guarantee. That's the only process which can guarantee. Because by doing gyan, knowledge, and meditation, yoga, all those, suppose somebody has worked for certain time, like for example, Vishwamitra Muni, he sat in dhyan for thousands of years, but his mind got agitated. So all his tapasya for 60,000 years got lost, you know, everything. Then he united with Menka. But bhakti is not like that. We do a little bit, we get that result, permanent result. You just have to continue the process.
So that means that his everything was lost.
Yeah, that's what here we read just now.
Yeah.
That the mind will get agitated again. So you're going to fall down again.
Mm-hmm.
By slight agitation, everything becomes muddy. Because it's not true. Because what happens is the dirt which is there in our heart, it can be only cleaned. The seeds are also there. No, the seeds for the material desires are also there. They can be burned only by bhakti. They cannot be burned by cultivating knowledge or meditation. Those seeds will remain and they will sprout at some point of time or the other. They will.
Okay.
Yeah, the sinful desires. But we can have pure devotees, no matter how much they have, like Haridas Thakur example is given. Haridas Thakur is such a pure devotee that the prostitute came to him for 3 days trying to incite him. But he didn't get agitated. Instead, he made her into a great Vaishnava. He made her into a pure devotee. So there the comparison is there immediately.
Okay, so bhakti is the only way.
Bhakti is the only way. Only way.
Okay.
And the fastest way.
Yeah. Yes. So true.
Kali Yuga. Yeah.
Yeah. Fastest and the only way.
Mm,
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for
thank
joining.
you.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you for joining in. Have a great day.
Thank you.